Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Coach Griffin with MatTime Wrestling, and I wanted to make a video today and talk to you guys about the basics of wrestling from a conceptual standpoint, basically how a match works from the beginning of the match all the way until a winner is declared, just basically so that if you're a parent or you're a fan and you're watching a wrestling match and you're not able to follow along, you can more easily understand what's happening and why it's happening. So let's dig into it. The first thing that has to happen when a wrestling match begins are the two opponents will report to the table. And so every wrestling match will typically have a table where the table workers are, the score is kept, clock is kept, things like that. And so the wrestlers will report to the table, they'll tell them their name, they will get assigned a color, either red or green. Depending on their color, they will head out to the mat and they will put an ankle bracelet on or ankle band with the respective color on it, and then they will line up in the center of the mat. There'll be a rectangle with a red line on one side and a green line on the other. The wrestlers will line up on their respective color. The ref will come over. Usually they'll shake hands. The wrestlers will shake each other's hands. They will have to have 1 foot on the line and no hands on the ground in front of them. 1 foot on the line. Ref will blow the whistle. Wrestling match will start. So that's the beginning of round one. In a wrestling match, in a typical match, there are 3 2-minute rounds. So round one will always start in what we call neutral. That's with both wrestlers on their feet facing each other. So the wrestlers will start wrestling. From then, they will wrestle the entire first round, depending on things that happen, like a wrestler going out of bounds or potentially dangerous, something like that happening. They will stop the match and reset the wrestlers, or stalemate, or certain stalling, things like that. They will stop the match and reset the wrestlers back on the line, and typically they will reset them in the fashion that they were when the match was stopped. So if we're neutral and we're wrestling and something happens and like we go out of bounds, and next thing you know we're out of the circle, out of the large circle, the ref will blow the whistle. He'll call out of bounds. He'll bring us back to the middle, and he'll reset us in the neutral position because that's how we were when we went out of bounds. Now, if for some reason I take Landon down here, and I've got him taken down, and we're wrestling like this, and somehow we end up out of bounds, and the ref declares it out of bounds here, because I'm on top when we went out of bounds, the ref will reset us back into the middle of the ring, or back into the middle of the mat, and the person that was on bottom before will go on bottom again. When somebody goes on bottom, the ref will call 2 things. The first thing he'll do is he'll look for the bottom man to be set. So the bottom man will get down. He'll have to put his knees across one white line. His hands are touching the other white line. The ref will look at him and he'll say, bottom man set. Once bottom man is set, he's no longer allowed to move until the whistle's blown. Then he'll go top man cover. The top man has to cover the bottom man. Knee beside him, foot behind him. Near hand will go on the outside of the elbow. It can go however you want, as long as it's not wrapping around, grabbing, wrist, things like that. Go on the elbow. Far hand will go palm to the belly button, and head will go center of the back. Once we're there, the ref will blow the whistle, and we start wrestling from there. So that's the down or top, or they call it referee position, but let's say the first round has ended. We're done with the first round. The ref will then flip a coin. It'll have red and green on either side. Depending on what the coin lands on, he will ask one or the other wrestler what their choice is, and this is their choice for where they want to start the next round. So you have 4 options. You have neutral, you have top, you have bottom, and you have defer. And so if you defer, it gives the other wrestler their choice, and let's say he calls bottom, right? He'll call bottom. That wrestler will go down. Ref will say bottom man set, top man cover, and then they'll wrestle the next round. From the end of that round, they'll go into the third round. And at the third round, because I deferred in the first round to him, now it will be my choice in the third round, and I'll choose top, neutral, bottom, and I cannot defer in the third round. So then we'll wrestle 2 more minutes, and at the end of the 2 minutes, a total of 6 minutes will have passed if nobody has been pinned. And from there, a person will be declared a winner based on points, and then the match will be over. And so there's other scenarios such as overtime or sudden victory and things like that. But in general, that is how all wrestling matches work. 3 2-minute rounds, neutral, then first person's choice, then second person's choice, and then they'll declare a winner based on points. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that clarified a little bit for you, gave you an idea a little bit more of how wrestling matches work. And if you want to understand the point system, I'll make a follow-up video to this that you guys can watch to give you an explanation of how we award points in wrestling. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.